'Tis the season for everything fall, so I have more fall DIYs coming your way. Hey there, my name is Yami. I am your Latina next door. Welcome back to my home sweet casa, where I share high-end home decor and DIYs on a budget, as well as extreme room renovations. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, please make sure to hit like and subscribe so that you too can become part of the familia. I am hoping to enjoy this fall season in all its glory, so I am getting the house ready with fall touches here and there. So I am bringing you all the pretty fall things, and I have partnered with Cricut once more to share some great ideas for you to try out this fall. So with that, let's get started. So do you guys remember this painting that I did a couple of months ago? It actually had two sides to it, and the other side was blank. It had been a little while since I have painted, and I will say I'm a little rusty, but I thought I'd give it a go to create something fun for fall on the other side. For this, I'm just using some craft acrylic paint, a couple of shades of green, some beige, white, and a little bit of orange. I started off by creating one large pumpkin form in the bottom center of the frame. And like I said, I hadn't done this in a while, and so I was having a little bit of trouble in the beginning, kind of blending the colors together and kind of trying to figure out what it was that I really wanted to do, but after a while it got a little easier. I decided to create one small, very pale orange one on the left side, and then eventually I'll add another one on the other side in more of a beige color. And then I began layering the colors as the pumpkins dried, adding highlights and more definition to some of the areas on the pumpkin, as well as shadows in other areas. Also, I did want to say real quick that I am actually filming this and all of the projects that you see in today's video in my new studio. However, it's still not done, but I did have to move my studio down a little bit sooner than anticipated because I've got a lot of other things going on, which a lot of you guys know already. So the lighting might be a little off or a little glary or different at times as I'm shooting this video, and that's because I'm trying to figure out how to best light this area. I have a lot of lighting options, as you all very much know, but right now it's just trying to figure out what's gonna not glare, what's gonna not cast shadows. Anyways, I hope to have this figured out soon enough. So just like my bloom painting that's on the other side of this frame, I wanted to create some words for it, and I wanted it to say harvest. So I just went to Cricut Design Studio, opened up a new project, and then typed out harvest and selected a font. Next, I adjusted the word to be the size that I needed. When I was happy with everything, I hit weld, and then I selected make it. I selected premium vinyl, and I used white matte vinyl for this. Using my weeding tool, I removed the excess vinyl from the word, and with some transfer tape, I applied the vinyl onto the piece of art. So it seems to me that right now a lot of galvanized vases as well as a lot of monogrammed vases are kind of what's in. So I decided to take this little gumball scalloped container. This is from Dollar Tree and it's clear, obviously $1, but it is a really nice size. So I am going to go ahead and paint this. And I am going to be using my DIY galvanized metal technique that I shared with you all before. And I'll link to that video if you have not seen it. You really can turn anything into galvanized metal, or should I say a faux galvanized metal. And here I am just doing the base coat of a nice dark gray. After that layer, we're going to be using this brushed metal in the darker silver, and this is going to be the next layer. And what I like to do is use a makeup sponge to dab that silver all throughout the piece. And then we'll be taking the brush metallic paint in the lighter silver, and again using that same sponge. You don't need to use a new one. You're going to dab it in random areas all throughout the surface. So while that dried, I went to the Cricut design space, and what's great about it is that I had these napkins that I had created a few months ago, and I still had the design saved in my studio, so I pulled it up. The best part about this is that the hard work was already done, and all I had to do was just resize it for my brand new project and then send it to the Cricut. I decided to use white vinyl again for this so that you would see it a lot more against the full galvanized metal. Once it was completely weeded, then I took some transfer tape and applied it using that. Now, if you have brand new transfer tape, just a quick tip, make sure you rub it on your shirt or your pants to get some lint on it so it's not too sticky, because it will be a pain to remove if you don't do that. And you can see here what I mean. Once I'm done with that, I took some floral foam and adhered it inside of the container. I added some faux grass. And then I had some florals left over from my previous fall video where I shared all these arrangements, and I thought I'd go ahead and use them so I can make them match the rest of my decor. So I just cut the bushes down and created individual stems and began to create an arrangement. And yeah, I'm totally wearing my husband's old beat up camo Superman shirt. And that was pretty much all there is to it for this one. I hope you're enjoying the video so far. I wanted to jump in real quick to remind you that if there's anything that you see that I use in this video, I always have a tools I frequently use section in my description box below of the things that I use all the time to create my DIY crafts, as well as any particular ones that I use for any video. So if there's anything that you see in this video, you can check it down below and you should be able to find a link. All right, let's get back. This next one is going to be super easy, and it's going to help you redecorate and revamp some old pumpkins that you may have had from past years and give them a new life. I went to this website called PicPing where you can get free ping images, and I selected these beautiful vines. Now all you got to do is upload it onto your Cricut design space, select the file, select simple when selecting your image type, and then make sure everything looks good and select cut image. It's going to go into your uploads in design space, and then you're going to want to select it and insert it into a new file. Sometimes your image is quite large and all you have to do is resize it. I wanted to make sure I cut quite a few of these, so I sized it down so where I can fit 2 on one sheet. Finally, I attached both images and then I sent it to cut. I decided to use some beautiful sage green looking vinyl for this, and instead of weeding it in a traditional method, what I did was use my weeding tool to pull each and every one individually. Now I had this little pumpkin that I just recently bought at Walmart. It was only like $3, I believe, and I thought it would be so nice to add some more details to it. And since it had all of these ridges, I wanted to make sure that I can put each one individually and get them in all of those little nooks and crevices so it looks like it has this pattern painted on. So I proceeded to remove all of these little vines. If I would have done this differently though, I think I would have tried to edit the image where I could have made them a little bit closer to each other so I can get more out of the vinyl that I had. But either way, I think it worked perfect. And the fun thing about this is that you can use any color vinyl you want to suit your needs. You don't have to be an artist. It's already free on the internet for you to download and upload into Cricut Design Space, and then just randomly place this on your pumpkin. And that was it for this DIY. So for this next one, we're going to be using an embroidery hoop that you might have laying around on hand in your home, because I know I do, and some scrap fabric. So I quickly went into my design space and I created a cute little saying. And this is inspired by something that I actually just recently saw at Walmart. After I had gotten the size and layout of everything, I separated the words and I changed the font for the words still and everyday, and I used the mermaid font for this. Once I tweaked everything, got the right size, I attached and welded everything. And then I sent it to print. This time I was doing a stencil vinyl cut so I can stencil the words onto my scrap piece of fabric. I weeded everything out, got my transfer tape, and transferred it onto the piece of fabric. Then I just used some chalk paint to fill it in. I used some Waverly chalk paint in the color Elephant. Once the paint has started to dry, I removed the stencil. Then once it's completely dry, I take some parchment paper and then I apply the heat press onto it so that I can set the paint into the fabric. Once it's cooled, I go ahead and add the fabric into the embroidery hoop, and then I cut off the excess from behind. And you can leave it like this, however I wanted to add a bow and some foliage to the top of it. And that was it for this DIY. For my last DIY, I'm going to be using this little box that I had from a previous Christmas DIY where I used it for a little mini tree, and I just want to show you guys what you can do to make a really cute place setting for your fall Thanksgiving dinner. This was originally a little drawer, and I think I got it at Michael's in their little dollar bin section. I have no idea where the insert is. But I went ahead and added some floral foam and put it in the center. And then using some leftover bushes from my previous DIYs, I went ahead and added a little foliage as well as some pumpkins to this little drawer. This little pumpkin I've had for previous years. It's made out of foam, so I just stuck a little skewer inside of it so that I can attach it to the base. Next, you're going to need a little round dowel like this. I get these at Dollar Tree all the time. You're also going to need a mini clothespin as well as a decorative little piece like a pumpkin or a little maple leaf for this instance. The maple leaf I have had, it's also from Dollar Tree, and I had painted it and even kind of drilled a little hole in it for something else but never used it. So I'm just going to go ahead and use it for this specific example. Now once it's dry, you're going to want to hot glue everything together. You're going to glue the little clothespin onto the little dowel and then the little leaf onto the little clothespin. Then I'm going to stick that little dowel right into the little arrangement. Next, we're going to go into Cricut Design Space and we're going to create these little name place holders. And all I'm going to do is I am going to select a simple rectangle for this, but you can make it as elaborate and fancy as you wish. I made it a 3x2, which is the standard size of a business card, which I kind of like that size, and then I changed the color to white. Next, you're going to grab the text tool and you're going to create your names. I'm just going to use my husband's name for this example. I selected the mermaid font for this as well. And then I placed it in the center of the little rectangle where I wanted it to print, because we're going to be doing a print and cut with this. You want to make sure that you choose the operation cut for the rectangle and the operation pen for the words. You want to make sure you weld your word and you attach both images so that they print and cut the right way. You're going to send it to your Cricut Maker and it's going to first print the name and then it's going to cut around it. Design Space will walk you through every step of the way, and all you'll have to do is pull it from your mat and then place it into your little place card holder.
Well, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below which one of these DIYs was your favorite. Thank you again to Cricut for partnering with me on this video. I hope you guys are doing well, and I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Until then, adios!